If your biggest problem area is your belly, I am here to help, so let's dive right in. Hello fashionista, I'm Nancy Queen and I'm here to help you build a wardrobe full of clothes you love to wear so you love getting dressed every single day. And today we're talking about camouflaging our bellies. Now, I recently did a survey to find out what is your biggest problem area, and an overwhelming amount of you said the tummy. And many of us have gone through menopause, or we're starting to go through menopause, so you get that menopausal belly. You might have some extra pounds. I actually lost 60 pounds over the past 2 or 3 years. So one of the biggest problems for me was my belly, and I still carry weight around my belly. So it's also my biggest problem area, and I can tell you the weight I carried around my stomach really just made it tough to buy clothes. Shirts didn't always fit right. So I'm going to take the guesswork out of it for you today and give you 10 tips for being able to camouflage your belly. And I'm even going to show you some of the mistakes I made that I wish I would have listened to my own advice, because I don't know, I wasn't really thinking about what I looked like. In fact, a lot of times I would just end up wearing black just to camouflage myself. And I want you to, no matter what your weight is, these are just suggestions and ideas. I'm not saying that you should not be proud of your body and thankful for your body. In fact, the complete opposite is true. I know so many of us are caregivers, mothers, busy women with careers, or even with grandchildren in retirement. You live a busy life and we're caring for everyone else in the world, but we often forget to care for ourselves. And it wasn't until I really realized that weight started coming off for me. And I don't want to talk all about my weight loss, but it wasn't until I acknowledged myself, started talking to myself every day and telling me, that girl in the mirror, that I love her and what she's going through and that she can be strong, that it allowed me to really start caring for myself. And miraculously, when I started doing that, the weight started to pour off. So even though I still have a tummy area, I carried it all around my waist before, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to help you so that you can look in the mirror, love how you look, and feel good about yourself every single day. It's really not about dressing for others, it's about dressing for you. And I want you happy and healthy and feeling good every single day. So let's get into those tips right now. It's enough of my Nancy rant. You can find links to all of the garments in the description below. The first tip I have for you is wear a V-neck shirt. Now, I follow this YouTuber. I've been following them for years. He's called The Makeover Guy, and if you haven't checked out his videos, I highly recommend it. He takes women our age and he makes them over, and they end up looking beautiful every single time. He gives them a new hairstyle. They do makeup, they do a little fashion makeover. All of his videos are like 3 to 5 minutes long. They're highly addictive. I watch them one after another, and he has a mother on there that is so adorable. She's a fashion queen herself, and she gives style advice. I think she even had her own channel for a while. I don't know if she's still doing it, but one of the things that I took away from that is round equals pounds. And she was talking about a neckline. And if you wear a round neckline, it's going to make you look heavier, and we don't want that. So she recommends always wearing a V-neck. I've looked at lots of pictures of myself wearing a round neck versus a V-neck, and I 100% agree with her. Round equals pounds. I live by that now. Wear up for a V-neck. V-necks are just going to draw your eye down the body and elongate your look. Second on my list are shirts with a neckline detail. So if you're wearing a shirt, like even a collared shirt, is going to draw the eye upward and away from the belly. So if you can have some detail up here at your neck. I know I love this shirt. I've worn this in several videos. I have it in every color. I love the little ruffle detail, but I always look for shirts with this kind of little detail on them because it draws your eye up to my face. I get compliments every time I wear them, and I feel very polished and pulled together when I have a shirt like this on. Number 3 on my list, look for ruffles above the area that you'd like to minimize. So if you look at this blouse, you can see that it draws your eye up to a wider line. Here it's across the bust line, so it's drawing your eye up to the bust line. It's visually a much wider area, so it's making that tummy look much, much smaller. So that's a great little visual trick to do, and you will feel, you'll get lots of compliments. You'll feel so pretty in it. Definitely try the ruffle trick. Number 4 on my list is wearing the proper bra size. Now, I've harped on this a few times, but it's really important about every 6 months, especially if you've had any weight changes, but even if you haven't, your body does change throughout your life. And even from year to year, especially when we're going through hormonal changes, menopause, all that. Go every 6 months, get your bra fitted, see if you need to make any changes. Or if you notice that it's like you're moving around with it, it's not staying in place. I recently went and got checked for a new bra, and because I felt like I had lost some weight and things were gapping in places, I went down 2 strap sizes. So just by making that change to the size of my bra strap, night and day difference in the fit of my bras. So be sure to do that, and don't buy those non-supportive bras that are just elastic. Opt for a good bra with underwire, or one that's really going to give you the support that you need, because it'll bring things up. You don't want, gravity takes us down. You don't need them down around your ankles, if you know what I mean. You need things lifted. So get the boobs back up where they belong. You'll feel much better. You'll look more pulled together, and it will actually bring weight off because you'll have this visual separation of your waist. Most people think your waist is here at your belly, but it's not. It's up a little bit higher, and that is actually the smallest part of your body. So by lifting up the ladies, it's going to allow that part of your body, that slim part of your body, to show, and it makes a big difference. Tip number 5 is vertical stripes. You can see here, I love this little skirt, but the horizontal stripes are not doing me any favors because they're drawing your eye across. You don't want to do that. You want to go with stripes that go up and down. So look for a pinstripe pant or a striped shirt that goes vertically, or even this engineered print. You can see it draws vertical lines that create lines in your body and make you appear slimmer. Number 6 on my list are prints. Now, I love wearing prints, but I'm very careful about where I wear them and how I use prints in my wardrobe, because prints can make or break your whole outfit. And you want to look for prints that are small to mid-scale with very little white space in between, or negative space. For example, this dress provides a very slimming look because it's an all-over print, and there's no real blaring colors. The colors are, even though there's a lots of colors in this, the colors kind of blend together like a watercolor painting. So you're not going to see these big, it's not like a big floral print with big open spaces. I'm going to show you some prints here that you'd want to avoid, but you want to look for prints that are more like a Monet painting, that kind of blend together, and even though they might be vibrant, they're still somewhat soft. Or the prints aren't huge and loud, and they have very little negative space between them. That's what you're going to look for when you're looking for a print. Low contrast was the word I was looking for. You want very little negative space and low contrast. So let's go back to this print. So even though there's a lot going on here, it's not highly contrasting. It's very, like I said, Monet watercolor painting-ish. You're not seeing harsh against white big spaces and then harsh again. So take a look at these examples and you can see this is what you want to avoid when you're looking for prints. Another tip I have for you is wearing cardigans that have a drape front or some sort of detail like a fringe or a soft ruffle that will draw the eye up and down the body and away from your belly. And I always like to go for a little bit longer length tunic style sweater, because that's, if you go with a sweater that ends right at your belly, guess what? It's going to cut you off right there at the widest part. So you want to avoid that. You want to go with something that's a little bit longer, that has a little bit of detail that draws your eye away, or even a drapey neckline. Tip number 8 I have for you is wear tunic tops. Again, like we were talking about with the sweaters, you want to go for something that is not going to cut you in half right at the widest part of your body. You're going to look for something that's a little bit longer or asymmetrical, you know, that's cut on a diagonal, because that's going to create angles in your body and draw your eye away from the problem area. That's the whole idea. Doesn't matter that it's there. We're just going to draw your eye away from it. So by creating those angles, by putting an angle here or wearing something that's a little longer, your eye is going to be drawn down to that instead of at the belly. And then you want to pair it with leggings or skinny jeans. You want to avoid cropped pants. In fact, you can see here, I made this mistake. These capris are too short. They're ending at the widest part of my calf, which makes me look dumpier and heavier. It's actually totally ruining the look. If I would have worn something a little bit longer in a pant, it would have elongated my look. So that's one thing you want to avoid is, so if you're going to pair a tunic, you want to balance it with a skinny jean that's ankle length, or a little flare leg, or a pair of capris that ends just above the ankle or that skinnier part of your leg, but not up at the calf. Tip number 9 I have for you is belts. Now, belts can be a very tricky thing. In fact, I really tended to avoid them. I've started bringing them in recently, but I don't belt right at my widest part of my belly. What you want to do if you're going to belt is you want to go up to that really skinny part, like more of an empire waist. You want to belt up there and avoid belting right at your belly. That's going to make a big difference and make you look slimmer. So if you do choose a belt, choose one that's, and try to avoid one that's highly contrasting, because again, it's going to draw your eye, boom, right to that line. So you don't want to belt right at the waist, you want to belt up a little bit higher. Number 10 is shirt length. They'll buy a 3/4 length sleeve shirt, or they'll buy a shirt like this and just roll up the sleeve a little bit. Well, what happens is it ends right at your belly, at the widest part of your body. So if you're standing like this, it's adding pounds and adding a visual line to your body and making it that much wider. So you want to avoid that. You want to pull up your sleeve up above your elbow, fold it up again. Your sleeve will stay in place and it won't be, it'll actually be at that skinny part right here, not at the wide part that you want to avoid. You also want to look for sleeves that are a cap sleeve. In fact, I have one right here. You want to look for a cap sleeve that's a little shorter and on an angle. If it ends right here, that is going to chop off your arm. It's going to hit right at the heaviest part of your bust line, which is going to be very unflattering. You want one that's going to create an angle with your body. So we want to create visual angles because it's very slimming. Pretty much any diagonal angle you can do. So that will make your arms appear slimmer and your torso appear slimmer because it's not adding weight. And I'll see you in the next video.